everyone. We are back on the High Line, ready to talk, ready to talk some racing. We're going to talk about NASCAR's new rivalry that's brewing up as we teased on our new page um out there. Um and Rome's excited to talk about this. Um but yeah, we can start off with a little recap. So last time we talked was right after the Atlanta race, which Blaney won, and we were heading into Wilkesboro, um, where another one of Rome's favorite, Joey Logano won. And then as we are recording the basically the morning of the Iowa race. But before that, we had the Brickyard and Corey Heim won. This is his second win of the year.
Time time. Time time.
Yeah, it is. Seems to be Heim time. Which it's cool. He's a Toyota, so I don't care. Um, doesn't bother me because he's part of the team, and I'm just kind of just Team Toyota, honestly. Um, which brings us to that was an interesting race. Corey Heim pulls it out, and I don't think it was announced last time we recorded, but Rome has chosen his driver of the future, um, and it's Corey Heim.
It's Corey Hunt. Time time.
Yeah, so from this race, obviously we got a key moment that like went viral, um, during the race where during that said race, everybody's favorite, another one of people's favorites, Carson Hocevar, uh, passes Corey Heim as he's going into the pits and just kind of flips him the bird,
This is
um, which was kind of funny. Um, but then it turns out that this is an ongoing thing, has been going on.
an ongoing thing for I think what 2 years now
Yeah, I mean,
since the Truck Series when I think Heim was going for the championship and then Hocevar spun him out.
yeah, I mean, this is what years of rivalries be coming up in the ranks together and stuff like that will do. And they are two of the youngest drivers in the sport. Obviously Corey is 24 and Carson is
23.
23. So they are the young guns coming up. This is a rivalry that's probably to keep going. As long as they stay in racing. Obviously, Corey is not full time, correct? Right
No.
now.
Yeah, no, he basically didn't have a ride all this year in anticipation he was going to have it for next season.
Yeah, he was like just going in and out. It wasn't a full series. Like so far on what the it's been only 8 races. Sorry, my phone decided I hate Siri.
Mm-hmm.
Um it's been only 8 races where he's raced. And I mean, honestly, the last three that he's raced, it's been one, ninth, one. So he's building momentum.
Um,
Oh,
Even during the 500, he was up in the front before that whole big wreck happened right there at the end.
yeah, I mean, he finished 28th. His worst finish is 31st in Texas out of those. Um, and then, he has some middle of the pack finishes. Um, so yeah, he's not fully full time, but it has been confirmed that he will be full time in 2027.
Yep.
And he'll be driving the number 35, which right now, does that belong to anyone?
Uh, Riley Herbst.
What's going on with Riley?
Oh, they're cutting him loose.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
Well,
giving his
I should
full
have known the answer to that, but Anyway,
But I mean, he doesn't have to take the 35 because there's
well, they
talk.
gave it to him, I guess.
There's talks now like Corey's already established himself in the 67. He's already got a pretty good thing going in the 67.
As of right now, it'll be the 35. Obviously, things could change. It's still a year before he becomes full time. So, and that was announced May 30th. So we can go from there. Um, so yeah, um, Riley's getting bumped down, and then I thought, what's it called? I guess he's Gibbs. I thought he was 23-11, but what's his name? Is it Riley? I think it is Riley. Yeah, they're cutting Riley. That sucks. But cool dude. I actually like him. He was I actually watch his little because sometimes I watch. I'll shout out another podcast. I watch the podcast with what's his name with Bubba Spotter.
Oh yeah, Heim was just on there.
Yeah, he was. They usually.
And he made sure he wore his Heim made sure he wore his brickyard ring on his middle finger.
Yeah.
Hounded him.
It's funny. So I watched a few. I think recently they've been having the winners because I think the week before Joey was on there. But anyway, um, yeah. Anyway, I'm getting off track, but I like the episode with Riley. Is what I'm trying to say. It was like Riley and Bubba, so it was kind of funny. But um, yeah, that sucks. But I mean, it is what it is. It's a business. Um, and whatever.
Not doing much.
But once again, this always gives my rant of yes, having more than one car on the grid does give people opportunities like Corey Heim, where he was just part time, and here we have this extra car that we're just going to use like part time. So this guy gets experience, but I mean, just too many cars on the track. So whatever. Anyway, um, I'm gonna get sidetracked. Um, so yeah, like right now, I think Corey's not in this weekend. I don't think.
No,
Iowa.
I
Um,
stay tuned.
the I think the rivalry's good. I think like especially for sports, and I think this is what I will say for like Hocevar. Like I think that he has the personality to bring. Well, so far has the personality. He's done some things that like can bring more eyes to races to NASCAR, obviously that he's involved in, and obviously you can. There's nothing wrong with creating a rivalry or having rivalries. It's just more of a reason to watch. Just brings eyes once again.
Racing better.
Um, what?
Makes racing better.
Well, yeah, it's true because there's nobody. I don't mean I can't even name one right now. Like technically, um, from the established guys, I guess like there's people who don't like Joey or whatever. I don't know, but um, I guess Joey and Denny in a way because they were teammates and then they're not. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? But
that's
it's
kind of
not really like a thing. Um, yeah, it's not really any like well known. So this is good. I think it's cool. I mean I like both kids, but like I said, I feel like it might be bringing the right attention to the sport.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
On the rival. I mean, I think it's freaking great. You got Hocevar that never shuts up, and then does stupid stuff and can't really win a race because he's race is stupid. Um, and you got Heim, who's the next superstar coming in, and I think Hocevar doesn't like that too much.
Well, I mean, I think part of that is just like I said, like all those years of them coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that like when they're around the same age, so they've raced probably a lot against each other, trying to get up to where they're at. Um,
And then it really sparked back up in San Diego.
yeah, a little bit. That's kind of where it started to flame up. Obviously, Corey hasn't been in too many races. Obviously, Hocevar is running full time, but it seems like every time they've almost every race they've raced together, there's been like a thing to an extent where they've had a moment. Now that I think about it, but yeah, I mean, right now, Corey. I mean, if this was last year's format, Corey would be in. But
Well, would he actually be in? Because you have to race a certain amount of.
yeah, you're right. He wouldn't. But I thought, winning in type type of shit. But so I said they're in Iowa this weekend, and it looks like um also we're starting 18.
Yeah, I missed the qualifying. I forgot it was on. I watched.
Denny starting 29, so you didn't miss anything. I don't
Yeah,
know what happened there, but
it's having brake issues.
brake issues.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. He was having some brake issues because they ended up, I think, bleeding the brakes to see if that solved the problem.
Well,
Like 4 laps, and it didn't fix the problem.
he's got a pretty decent lead um right now. So
It doesn't matter where Denny starts, honestly, because he goes way up.
what?
I said it doesn't really matter where Denny starts. I mean, he always
True.
finds his way to the front, regardless where he starts.
It's true. I mean, the long races. I mean, what did I see them call it today? I think in qualifying or something. They called it. I think one of the commentators called it the Iowa's the biggest short track or something like that.
Um, I don't know. I missed that.
I don't know. It was just a comment that I saw on a clip where they basically call Iowa like the the longest short track or the biggest short track.
In the O'Reilly race.
It might have been the O'Reilly race.
Okay.
Um. Anyway, speaking of the O'Reilly race, that was a good finish. It went to overtime. Um. And I can't. Is it Carson Vapple? Is that what it is?
Um, Quapple.
Wapple, yeah. The V silent.
The way you the way you said it made me forget how to say his last name for a second.
Yeah, well,
You want to look it up?
he won. This is a second straight win. Um uh yeah, I mean,
That good jump off and got ahead of Chastain, who shouldn't even be driving in O'Reilly.
so you brought up an interesting topic that I never thought about. Like I remember when like back in the day when I was younger and didn't know better, like I used to kind of like when the guys would come down and do the race because they would only do like Daytona and you know what I mean, like
He used to do it at Richmond, so I got to watch Denny and Kyle Busch both nights because they
yeah.
were.
So there was just certain tracks. I think right now there's a few guys that have done more than like just a few. Like I'm trying to look at the standings right now and see if I can find one of those guys and put it together. But anyway, um
But mostly, if any of the guys now are dropping down, they're dropping down and racing the trucks. Like I know Carson drives the trucks. Okay, something like
Ross
that.
Chastain, one of them, he's done 10
Of what?
races so far this year. So, or whatever that means. SVG's done 3, and they've all been the road races.
Yeah, same.
Because I'm gonna be honest, I they never really, like I said, when I was younger, or whatever, and like used to watch the whole weekend. I mean, I still to some extent try to watch because we are talking about it. But back then, I used to be on Speed Network. RIP to the Speed Network. Um,
I
I
miss that.
forgot what it. I forgot what it became. I mean, did it become like FS2 or something?
Uh, maybe it might have became FS2.
I don't know. But anyway, they're trying to bring it back a little bit by doing these little like shows and stuff. Um, anyways, but like now that I like think about it as I'm older and I'm like looking at racing a little different, like it really does take away from these like this is supposed to be the level before you go to NASCAR. That means like that these guys in the series should all be the guys that are coming up next, and all these races are experiences. You know what I mean? You're also wasting points by, racing down here and taking the win. And your points don't count. So you just took away whatever points, you know what I mean? Even if not just winning, just finishing in anywhere in the points, you know what I mean? And you're taking away from these guys. And I think it should only be left to, the developmental or whatever you want to call it, guys that are like getting ready to. This is supposed to be the warm up
Yeah.
to the Cup Series because they basically race almost the same schedule. And you're losing seven races where like because right now I just did the math. There's seven where full time Cup Series guy won. Um, so and yes, I know that the O'Reilly series has guys like the points leader right now, and Justin Allgaier, who's a 40-year-old who's only had a handful of NASCAR races, and it's been like a full time Xfinity like guy. I mean
Like in baseball,
O'Reilly.
one of those older guys that have just always played in the minors.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the guy when I was younger that was down there.
From Clark.
Um, he's got 87 starts in NASCAR, which is surprising to me because I don't remember him being around that much. But anyway, um, actually, look at that. He raced at Martinsville this year.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, whatever. um, yeah, it should be for guys like Corey Day. Should be for Carson who won today. You know what I mean? It should be like these guys, these like 20-year-olds, 20, getting ready to come up. And then you could sprinkle in some of those guys that we were talking about, the guys that like, yes, did 10 years in the minors, like we said. Um, which is fine. But I think it should be like limited, like to these guys that are like on the come up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think that'll also help with seats because I think you're taking away from seats, where like you can make room for some of these people. Like I know you're a big fan of Haley.
Mm-hmm.
Um, maybe she could get a full time seat. You know,
Yeah, she might, but she can't because it's just all. I mean, there's a ton of guys that are racing in the O'Reilly. Um,
it's way too many guys.
yeah, I mean, and they're constantly switching out drivers and different cars.
Yeah, and I'm seeing right now 65 drivers have qualified for at least a point
Yeah,
in this year's.
it's guys like Algar, Quapple, Corey Day, guys like that are the ones that have like the full time
Yeah,
route.
which they should. That's the point of this. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, it's
But
sports.
it's still annoying. But anyway, yeah, that was my little thing that I just realized that I don't like. It's just the cup guys going down there. I don't like anymore. And I
Well,
would feel the same way about the trucks. As fun as the trucks are, and like I know guys do that too, but it's also that's the
yeah,
level before this.
I give
And
you
I
the
think that it should be not trying to gatekeep, but I just think it just allows for these guys to get I don't fair shot is not like the right word I'm thinking of, but just like they got to compete with each other, and that's how you kind of like weave it out,
hmm
you know. So anyway, there was some news today or yesterday, I think. The Clash is going back to Daytona. Was announced. I think it was either earlier today or yesterday. I forget.
good.
Well, as we're recording, it's technically yesterday, but yeah, the Clash will be back at Daytona, where it was originally 4 years. So we'll get an extra race out of Daytona before Speed Weeks. So which is fine. We'll get the Clash, then we'll get the duels, and then we'll get I kind of miss. I know it's all made. Everything's made for TV. Like I miss the duels during the day. Um, because I also think that, and they know that, but I mean, I know why they're doing it. It's prime time, and I get it. I'm not like gonna go on a rant about that. But I remember like when I was in school, missing the duels because I was in school. Obviously, that used to suck. But it would be like it's just like a thing. Um, and I think they know this. I know like doing it during the day is probably a closer representation of like um track temperatures and stuff like that are more comparable to the race compared to the night race. Because for the most part, you you're only racing at night in that race if the race gets extended by cautions or whatever it is.
Yeah,
So like, it's a lot different. Track temperatures, tire wear, all that. It's all different because of, the temperature outside and all that. It
yeah.
just changes the race a little bit. Um, so I mean they are I think after Iowa they are at Daytona for the Coca-Cola, was it Coke Zero 400? I think it's what it's called now.
I think so.
Yeah. Coke Zero Sugar 400. Well, actually I'm getting ahead of myself. It's like 2 weeks away. They are Richmond after this. Sorry, Rome. Richmond for the night race.
Yeah.
Then they're at in New Hampshire, then they're at Daytona, and then the chase starts. So they're literally four races away from the chase. The chase starts September 6th at Darlington. So a couple weeks away, 3 weeks away here. So right now, Denny still holds the lead, which is good for Rome. Um, and he holds comfortably because Tyler's had,
And the good thing about the chase is there's no road courses.
yeah, well, yeah, f those. Tyler's had 1, 2, 3, 4.
Tyler's 84 points back.
Yeah, but he's had a streak of like 4 out of the last 6. He finished outside the top 10.
Yeah.
Um, so that's been part of it. And if we want to stretch it, if you want to stretch it to 8 races, it's been 5 out of those 8 races where he finished out of the top 10. So he's had a rough go. Um, but I mean, he's still in it. He's only, like you said, it was 80, 84.
Yeah, he's only 84 points back.
Yeah. So, I mean, he'll be fine. There's no way he drops outside of the, what is it, top 16? Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
I would take a miracle for him to drop out of the top 16.
Yeah, no, with only 3 or 4 races if you include later today at Iowa. But Ryan Blaney started on the pole there. Um, and like I said, I think Denny's 29th, I think is what I said. I think I said Hocevar's at 18 or something. So Corey is not racing in that. I know those are the two main guys we've been talking about today. Um, but there's also nobody's confirmed it besides like TikTokers who do follow NASCAR stuff, but there's still rumors. I think I brought it up like maybe a couple months ago in one of our episodes that there's rumors that there's going to be a fourth manufacturer next year. Um, Possibly Dodge.
Probably be Dodge.
So yeah, we'll see. That's just like rumors. Um, and nothing's been confirmed. Uh, Obviously, I think like what I saw from like the people posting those videos, like I guess like it's probably everything is under wrap, and it just got to go with like these teams switching over, which I'm sure they would have to be teams that are like almost up on a contract with, the manufacturer. Um,
I don't know who's.
I'm sure it's the secondary teams, like the teams that use like Hendrix for like motors and stuff. So I'm sure they got to be Chevys because they're using Hendrix. You know what I mean? So, but I don't think they're committed fully. I mean, because I think from what I've heard, I think from Toyota runs out of Hendrix, like not Toyota, Chevy runs out of Hendrix. Like they do a lot of the aero stuff and all the testing for like their engines and stuff at Hendrix
Mhm.
because that's just like their NASCAR hub for Chevy. And I think Ford is getting run through I think the biggest team, which I think is just Penske. Um, so they got all the data, you know what I mean? I think Toyota is just running out of Gibbs, and obviously they're tied with 2311, so it's technically like an extended team there. Um, but yeah, it's Dodge, which will be cool to see because that's another rumor. Like, what car are they going to choose um, to be?
I don't
Uh,
know. I guess it would have to be the Challenger or the Charger.
yeah, possibly. We'll see. Because I mean, we know what they're going to do in trucks because Dodge has been in the trucks before in the past, so it'll just be the trucks will be a Ram.
What's what they're
Um,
now? So
yeah, so um, we'll see if they go. I mean, I don't think it's bad to add an extra one. I think that it's good to be spread. Maybe it'll even things out. But I think like NASCAR has to get approvals on like how obviously Dodge would have to build engines for their cars and they have to follow a guideline obviously through
I would
NASCAR.
see some of the Fords switching over to Dodge.
Well, there's not that many of them. I think hold on. I think there's a breakdown that I had of like what the breakdown is. Well, actually, I don't think there. Oh, wait, there is. Hold on. We're getting close to the end here, and I'm bullshitting on manufacturers. Um,
Penske uses Ford.
so there's
Uh,
9 Toyotas.
RFK uses Ford.
There's 10 Fords, and the rest are Chevys. You don't even have to look.
Brothers front row.
It's RFK, Front Row, Penske, and the Wood Brothers, which is only one car. But so yeah, I mean, there's a chance they don't I don't know. It might be a lot of those Chevy cars that'll switch over. Could be Trackhouse because they're not like a primary team. I think they use what's it called engines. I think they use Hendrix engines.
Yeah, because that's where the Zillage is tied to is with Hendrick.
Yeah. So I see Trackhouse switching over. Um, but yeah, I mean we'll see. That's just like rumors. Nobody's like confirmed it yet. NASCAR hasn't released a press release. There's just like rumors out there. Seen videos from other NASCAR guys, just kind of reporting like that there was like I guess there was like a testing involving like Dodge or something. But that'll be interesting. It's like kind of like me with uniforms. I kind of like to see like when they build the bodies. I like it when it kind of looks like the car itself. That you're almost driving like the car, like it mirrors the car that it's supposed to be for a change.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a while when they first started switching like generations, where like I didn't feel like it fully looked like the cars, but then like once like as the models have been upgraded, like I like that the cars look different.
Yeah,
You could tell there's a difference. I used to love when I was younger just the Pontiacs looking different than the Chevys, and you know what I mean. Like it was a different grill, it was a different, you know. It's
yeah.
just
Body was a little bit different.
yeah. So, but yeah, that's all I got this week.
Mhm.
Um, we'll be back again. Check out our new page. Um, the hotline. Is there a number? Hold on.
I
Our
don't
new Instagram page is
know.
um. Hold on.
I got. Oh, wait, where'd it go? The Highline under or the underscore Highline underscore pod.
Okay. Yeah, that's our new Instagram page, and then we have switched the we have our very own YouTube page as well, starting with the last episode we recorded. That is, I believe, it's the Hotline Pod as well. Um, so check us out there. We've moved the traffic from the previous page, the 314 media page. Um, the podcast is still associated with the media company, but we switched over to drive traffic to its own place. But yeah,
Its own little.
what happened?
I said its own little home.
Yes. So everything now we have our own page on Instagram. We have our own page on YouTube. So just, like, subscribe, share from there. And I don't mind, but you can support the other content on the 314 media page as well. You can do both. Actually, we got a bunch of stuff over there too. But yeah, we'll be back next week. We'll talk about Iowa and probably lead up to Richmond. And maybe we'll talk after it. Well, we'll definitely talk after Richmond. But um prediction for tomorrow before it cuts off.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know because I think we're gonna have a different winner this week than like Blaney or Denny and
I,
I don't even know.
I'm
Uh,
gonna make a prediction. We don't usually do this, but I think I'm gonna do one.
I think it's gonna
Hold
be.
on. I think it's going to be
I
the
think it's gonna be Ty.
Ty Gibbs starting six.
I think he gets his second win of the season.
I could see it. I could see it. but it will be a long race. A lot could happen, and I could see Denny, like you said, being up front by the end of it at some point, and you
Yeah,
never know.
he's always up at the front, no matter
Yep.
where.
So it's 0.875 miles. That's why they're saying it's not. It's a short track, but not
It's what 300 laps.
350 laps.
Okay.
So yeah, enjoy the race. We'll be back after it. And we'll talk about everything that goes down the rest of this weekend at Iowa, and we'll preview Richmond. So until next time, catch you here on the High Line. Peace out.